Hello and welcome to our radio. Today is 16 December 2020 and I'm your host Sakleen. Well, we have some important topics to talk about. The first is the article which says we are moving from digital India to a digital Bharat. With the incoming of PM Wani project, the author believes that this will be a game changer in the broadband scenario and the public connectivity scenario of the country. PM Wani was recently announced. PM Wani stands for the Prime Minister's Wi-Fi Access Network Interface, and this will provide Wi-Fi to the people of the country and will connect the people of the country through Wi-Fi connections. Wi-Fi connections will be provided by or will be bought by the public data office aggregators who will further give it to the public data offices, and that will be spread across the length and breadth of the country so that people can have access to broadband internet services through public Wi-Fi. There are some facts about data that we are supposed to know with regards to internet, with regards to digital divide, connectivity, so on and so forth. Now, we have to understand that there is a huge digital divide in India, and that gap needs to be bridged. Niti Aayog has said that if you have the proper technology or if you have the proper connectivity, 1 trillion of economic value can be created with the help of digital technology. TRAI, or the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, has said that 54% of India's population has access to the internet. The 75th round of the National Statistical Organization has said that the survey of this has said that only 20% of the population has the ability to use the internet. Though 54% has the population has the access to the internet, only 20% have the ability to use the internet for various purposes. The India Internet Report of 2019, which happens to be a very popular report, shows that rural India has half the internet penetration as urban areas and twice as many users who access internet less than a week. So this is a contrasting figure where you can say the internet penetration is pretty low, but then the users are high. The author talks about the Umang app. Umang stands for Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance. Now, this app provides access to over 2000 government services across 190 government departments, and it touches upon themes like education, health, finance, social security, and so on. Now, the ability of the individual to get access to these services is only possible if you have access to internet and he can use internet in the right manner. Now we are moving towards digitization. We believe that this will be achieved, and as the PM Wani scheme says, it aims to achieve last mile connectivity or last mile delivery, where even the smallest of the villages will be connected and the smallest seller of a pan shop or a tea seller will be able to register himself as a service provider and get revenue. Now this will help to reduce the pressure on the you can say mobile internet in the country. Now again, the Internet India report has said that 99% of all users in India have access to the internet on mobile phones. That is, mostly internet in the country is accessed through what you call as mobile phones, because it's the most accessible way, it's the most easiest way to do it. Apart from that, we believe that 88% are connected to 4G network. So, this is the latest network that we are using. 5G is yet to come, and 88% of people have access to 4G network. Though this PM Wani scheme will somewhat affect the market of this service providers or the internet users, but the major agenda is to connect people with internet through Wi-Fi, and that will be completed through the PM Wani scheme. Now the key links, as we know, is the public data office, which will be providing internet, and the access to public data office, the internet access to public data office will be provided by public data office aggregators who will take the internet connection or bandwidth from the service providers and then sell it to the PDOs. Now we have to understand that there are good advantages of this PM Wani scheme. There are two major advantages. First is the interoperability of this scheme, where the user will be required to log in only once and he can stay connected across various access points. The second is multiple payment options, where he can pay both online and offline, and even the payment is or the fees or tariff is very less. It's not over expensive. Of course, there will be a few things like the KYC and Aadhaar linkage that you're supposed to, then you will have access to internet. Now rural connectivity is very important, because rural is the place we need to connect, because those are the people who need to be empowered digitally as well as financially through digital literacy. Now at this point in time, the BharatNet project comes into picture, which aims to connect over 2 lakh gram panchayats which broadband connectivity, and this will fill the deficit of digital literacy in the country and provide last mile connectivity of the internet. So the author believes that if we have a decentralized concept of this, it will be very helpful. It will depend on how people will interact and how technology will work, and is influenced by local and social factors as well. So lastly is we have to talk about the concerns of this PM Wani. So the concern is that there will be some concerns related to the aspect of security and privacy. This is the most significant factor because a study has conducted which has said that it will aid in leaking the private data, and there will be data information that can be used in it can be misused, and there can be surveillance also of the state. So all these things are coming into picture. We should have a proper law that will be helpful in this regard. There are problems of regulation and state capacity, all these things are there. So we will see how this will pan out, and more than the government, the people also should be responsible. The people should take it as their responsibility to not misuse what they are having, and should be taking this forward in the right regard. So this is a move towards digital Bharat from what you call as digital India. Moving forward, we are learning about another thing. This article is titled as Law and Disorder. Now this article talks about several inadequacies in the justice delivery system lie hidden as disappropriate attention is given to the Supreme Court. So we know today we are expecting Supreme Court to be an ideal institution to do everything properly for the people of the country, but we are not expecting we are not looking at what is happening to the Supreme Court and how Supreme Court is being aided by various factors. So this is very important. The Supreme Court finds itself in a similar predicament of where even the people are questioning it, and everyone else is questioning it. The citizens of the country expect this institution and its constituents to be ideal, but it is going through a lot of turmoil. What are these various turmoils that we are being spoken about? First is the expenditure or the spending on judiciary. Now, spending on judiciary is not about increasing the salary of the judges or providing better court infrastructure. The one of the most important thing about spending on judiciary is providing free legal aid to the people. Now free legal aid is a thing in India with the incoming of Legal Services Authorities Act of 1987, where all women, irrespective of their financial status, are entitled to free legal aid. Be it the scheduled caste or scheduled caste, they should all have a free legal aid. But the point is, how is this achieved? Is this being achieved in any way? No. This law is a dead letter. There is a little effort done in this regard to have these people who are providing free services. There are actually no people who are providing free services. Just imagine counselors, solicitors, and lawyers who are providing free services. It's not possible at all, and that is one reason why the Supreme Court is not able to perform its best, as people are not represented. It's not able to give grievance redressal to the people in the right way because they are not represented in the right way. One thing. Second is the poor judge to population ratio. It is a very important yardstick to measure the health of the legal system. Now in the USA there are 100 judges per million population. In Canada there are 75 judges per million population. In UK there are 50 per million population. But in India you have only 19 judges per million population, and this is added by the fact that there are several vacancies that are left vacant in the country. So Supreme Court has said that in the All India Judges Association versus the Union of India case, that the judges population to the ratio of million should be increased to 50, and this has not been implemented. So ideally we need 50 judges per a million population. It's not implemented. This is another reason why Supreme Court is performing poorly, and there are several problems ailing Supreme Court. Third is access to justice. Now what is the idea of access to justice? This is not a fundamental right in the country, but it is there in the constitution, and it has always been regarded by the Indian courts. Now in the Anita Kushwaha versus Pushpa Sadan case of 2016, the Supreme Court held that life implies not only life in physical sense, but a bundle of rights that make life worth living. There is no justice or other basis for holding that denial of access to justice will not affect the quality of human life. So access to justice is a part of human life. It is very important, and the need for adjudicatory mechanisms also become important. Now if you talk about this thing, you have to understand that Supreme Court has put forward a few aspects. It has pointed out a few components that are very important. First is the need for adjudicatory mechanisms. Second is the conveniently accessible conveniently accessible access to justice. Third is affordability of this for the disputants. So these things become very important, and these things should be taken into regard in the right way. And it's not just the Supreme Court or the High Court that are suffering from this issue. It is also the judiciary and executive that are also suffering, and we have to help them in clearing the backlogs and providing the justice to the people. And of course, the courts themselves are not the ideal or the only part of the justice delivery system. Several people come together, several institutions come together, and all this have to be taken into consideration, is what this author is saying. Well, that's it on today's video, guys. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you have any doubts, write to us in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay safe, take care, bye.